Hi, thank you so much for joining me today. So my name is Lexi Zhang. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome and please consider subscribing. So today I am going through my most used products for the month of April. So I have been on a no buy, so I have not purchased new items. However, I did purchase a bunch of stuff that I just hadn't gotten to. So there are some things that are new to me in this video that I just started using this month. But a lot of these items are going to be things that were previously purchased and you may have seen in some other favorites as well. So first off, let's get started with the foundation I've been reaching for the most recently. There are two that I've been using the most. I've been staying home with the kids all day and them not going to school or anything like that, not going anywhere. We've been spending a lot of time outside. So I've been really, sticking to more of the lighter coverage foundations. I don't have this upstairs with me, but I've been using the Givenchy Serum to Tint almost every day after my skincare. It is a finishing serum, so you can use that technically as part of skincare. So I've been doing that regularly, and I really love that. So that I definitely love. It's very expensive, so whether I'll repurchase that or not, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm kind of leaning towards yes. I actually would really like to try more items from the skincare line. So yeah, we'll see. I've still got plenty left. But the other foundations that I've been reaching for the most is the Clé de Peau Radiant Cream to Powder Foundation. This is what I have on today. It's fantastic, very light coverage. It is supposed to be refillable, but I haven't seen refills sold individually yet. So not really sure, but anyway, it does come with a little sponge applicator, and then this is the cream to powder foundation inside, and there's a mirror up here. So this is the case, and it does come in a velvet pouch. I just always get rid of those. Other foundation that I've been using a lot is the Givenchy City Balm. I have shade N104. By the way, the Clé de Peau, I have shade I10. So these are the lightest shades in both of those items, but I've been using those mostly every day. They are both giving me sheer light coverage, and I've just been enjoying them. The Givenchy does have broad spectrum SPF 25. Primer, I am still really enjoying the Surratt Perfectioniste primer. That one works really well for me. I really enjoy it. I have used the Clé de Peau Correcting Cream Veil. To me, this really isn't a primer. I use it more as sunscreen. So on days where I'm going to be outside the whole day and it's nice and sunny, I'll usually use this in addition to another sunscreen just to make sure I have extra protection. But honestly, I use this a lot this month, mostly because I just want to use it because I paid for it, but it is not a favorite. Other items, face powder, nothing new here. I've been really enjoying the Givenchy Prisma Libre powders. I have a few of them. This is the one I've been using the most. It is also my newest. This is shade number 1, Mousseline Pastel. And so I've been using this, or the Poudre Premiere, which is in the all black container. This is the translucent powder. And if you look closely, can you tell it's like actually got like a light hint of pink to it. It's not completely white, but this one is more matte, and this one is more, it's not sparkling or anything. I do have the sparkling version that came out during the holidays, but this one's just more radiant versus more matte for that one. But this shade here is very similar, if not the same, as the Poudre Premiere. But you can see we also have lilac, green, and blue, and sometimes I'll separate them and use them under my eyes for setting powder as well. Setting powder then for under the eyes, I have been either using a little bit of this just dabbed on my finger, or the Pat McGrath under eye blurring powder. So I personally really like this powder, and I've been using it almost every day since I got it, and you can see, you can't tell. if you're using this exclusively under the eyes, this seriously could last you like a decade because you use so little of it. But I also like this for all over my face. So that's what I've been using for setting powders and finishing powder. I usually just resort to the Guerlain Meteorites. Right now I've been mostly using the light shade, which is, you know, I love Guerlain Meteorites. I like the pearls. It's an item that when I was growing up, it was just like always a dream to have. So, you know, now that I have them, I really like them. You know, it's just a favorite. All right, so for blushes, I have 3 blushes that I have been using pretty much exclusively. Let's see here. I have the Givenchy Gardens. This is in the shade Spice. The packaging is limited edition for the spring collection, but the color inside is not. So this is the color Spice, and that is also part of the permanent line, which could come in just a solid black container. You can't really tell that I've used it, but I've used this quite a bit, and I really like this. I actually just swirl the 2 colors together and apply them on my cheek that way. So in addition, I've been using the Chanel blush. This is the Rose Pétillante number 330. This is the one that came out with the LeBlanc collection. And you can see it's like a swirl baked blush, and you've got like red, pink, and coral kind of all mixed in there. I'm gonna put this above it. That didn't really swatch well, but it's gorgeous. It gives me a bright pop of color, and it's, you know, actually it looks better on the cheeks than it does in the swatch, but you can see it's, you know, it's a nice vibrant pinky rosy corally color. It's got a little bit of coolness to it and a little bit of warmth, and I just think that, you know, combination is beautiful. My most recent blush that I've been using every day since I posted a video on this is the By Terry blush in Platonic Blonde, and it is like the perfect peachy blush for me. So I'm gonna put this above that here. So there we go, and it's just beautiful. So I've been playing around with the Tom Ford bronzer in Terra, and I do like that, and I think that this blush just goes perfectly with that bronzer. And if you're trying to do like kind of like a natural beachy look, you know, the combination of the 2 of them together is perfect. So I've definitely been using those 3 blushes constantly. So really, really like them. I actually have some other blushes that I want to start using, but I've just been so happy with these that I haven't even opened them yet. So we will get to those later. Highlight, I have been using the Chanel Duo de Camellias a lot recently. This is the one that came out around the holidays, and it is silver and gold. And sometimes I'll mix it, sometimes I'll just use one side or the other, but I've been using this one a lot recently. And I've also been using the Surratt Torche Lumiere in Diamante. So I have the Diamante and the Rose Diamante. I like both shades, but I have been using the Diamante more because it is a little bit more neutral. So here's the Diamante, and you can see it's just a really nice champagne color. And then the Rose Diamante is pinker. It's a bit cooler toned. Can you see that there? Let's see. It's hard to actually see. It kind of blends in with my hand pretty well in this lighting, but you know, it's a little bit pinker than the champagne here. So here's the Rose Diamante, and here's the regular Diamante. And you can see this is going to be just a pinker, cooler version, which I do really like, and I know I'll use it a lot. It's just not what I've been using a lot this month. All right, lipsticks. I have, you know, lipsticks are my favorite. I switch them periodically throughout the day. This is actually my 2nd lipstick of the day already. So, you know, I like to change colors a lot. So there are quite a few that I've been reaching for. First, we've got the 2 Chantecaille lip cheeks from the Hummingbird collection in shade Lupine, which is the rosy pink. And here, let me put these here. So here's Lupine. And then also I've been using the Honeysuckle, which is currently on my lips. And this is the one that's very much like Honey Pot Lip Veil. So those I've been using a ton of. And I've also, when I'm looking for something more pigmented, I've been going with the Guerlain Rouge G in number 96. This came out the holidays. It is, I believe, limited edition, but I think it is still available. It was a few days ago. And then I've also been using, this is one of the newer shades. This is 59, also from Guerlain. And this is going to be, you know, a brighter pinky shade. And two more I've been using a lot of is the Chanel. This is the Camellia Rose number 337. This is limited edition. It is pretty hard to find here. So if you're in the States, you might have a hard time finding it. I don't know about other countries, but yeah, I'm not sure how easy that is to find now if you don't already have it. And then also the Hermes lipstick in number 18, Rose en Sun. And some of these were actually in my favorite pink lipstick video. So if you're interested in that, check that out. Those are the soft pinks. I still have bright pinks and nudes that I'd like to do as well. But, you know, I love lip products. So these are the lip colors that I've been wearing the most recently. And glosses, I have been, oh, actually, I forgot. I've been using the Rouge Coco Flash a lot. This is shade 112. Also in my pink favorites. I can't wait to get more of these. And for glosses, I've been I haven't been wearing gloss a ton, but when I do, I've been reaching for the Dior. This is number 785 Diorama. And I'm going to put the gloss up here. So that one I really like. And I've also been using the Cosa. This is one of their lip oils in Dip, which is like a nude shade, but it's a little bit deeper. So yeah, those are the glosses I've been wearing most frequently. And eye products, honestly, I've been rotating around. So there has been one that I've kind of just stuck with a lot this month, but I have been really enjoying my new Surratt shadows. So I did a video on those earlier this month. These are things that I picked up right before, you know, quarantine has started, and these are them. So I've been using these quite a bit, and I really enjoy, I've been really enjoying playing with them and so forth. So for eyeshadows, mostly I've been either using the Surratt or I've been playing around with one of my favorite Pat McGrath palettes, the Mothership one. So my two favorite Motherships are this one and the Midnight Sun. What is that, number 6, I think? And yeah, so I've been using this one a lot. And one of the things I really like about this is you've got so many neutral shades in here. You can totally do a completely subdued work look if you want with this, or you can really amp things up. And I have been using this in a variety of ways. So sometimes I've actually gone ahead and played around, basically done all over blue eye, but other times, you know, I end up going very subtle. And this purple shade here is really, you know, it's a light shade. You can't even really tell how much I've used these. This palette is, you know, that I think if you're going to use these palettes, they're a good deal. If you're not going to use them, you know, they are very expensive for what you get. I personally really love them. I do not have all of them, and I don't intend on getting all of them because I know I wouldn't use all of those colors, and I just don't use them frequently enough to justify the cost for me. But this one, I definitely think if you were going to get one, I would pick this just because I think this is the most versatile out of any of the palettes, in my opinion, purely because of the quantity of neutral shades that you have here. So I think, you know, it's just such a wide variety of looks you can get with that. All right. Eyeliners and so forth. Again, nothing in particular that I've been using more than anything else. Brow stuff, same deal. Concealer, I'm still loving the Pat McGrath concealer, and I've been either mixing it with the Chanel Rosy Light Drops, which I also like as a highlight, or the Sisley Phytocerns Eclat in shade 1, which is a little bit too dark for me, and the Pat McGrath is a little bit too light. So mixing them together gives me a great high coverage option. If you were to buy this straight off and you have my coloring, I would go with L2, but I do want to use up what I purchased. Okay, and one more thing I wanted to mention that I've been using a ton in the last week is actually Rephr was kind enough to send me 2 brushes. So I was flabbergasted because I totally did not expect this. I don't receive PR. I'm not on any lists. I don't win prizes or anything like this, but they saw my review video that I did on the Rephr brushes that I purchased a couple months ago, and they offered to send me their new pencil brush based on my comments on that, because I had some, you know, I wasn't in love with the pencil brush. I actually like it a lot more now that I've been using it more than I did when I originally reviewed it. But they did create another pencil brush, and this is actually more along the lines of what I was looking for. It's a little bit smaller, and it works really well for liquid eyeliner. Goes very nicely in the inner corner as well, and you know, it's very soft and flexible. So for me, this is a nicer pencil brush. This is number 23. But in addition to that, they sent me this face brush, and I had no idea that I would, you know, I planned on buying this when it came out. I don't think it's out for sale yet. I couldn't find it on the website, but this is number 24. And I love this brush. It's actually, it's moving up into one of my top favorite brushes in general because of this shape and the density. So it is very dense. It's very soft. And this is the number 5 blush brush, which is one of my favorite brushes from their collection. And you can see that, you know, it's a little bit shorter. It's definitely more dense. And for me, the P22, which, you know, people use for bronzer, this is too big for bronzer for me. I like the denseness of it, and you know, I like to use it for face powder, but for me, it's just a little bit too large for bronzer because, you know, I'm new to bronzer. I don't use it too frequently, and I want a little bit more control. So I've been using this with the bronzer. I think it's perfect for that. I've also used it for blush as well, and I've also tried buffing in face powders and so forth with it, you know, to get more of a blurring effect. If you're actually trying to buff in a powder, this works great because it's so dense. And you can see that the shape of these 2 brushes is very similar, but this is just a lot smaller. And I, you know, for me, I think this might be my favorite. I think this probably is my favorite Rephr brush in general. But, you know, yeah, I really love this brush. So anyway, just a question for you guys, but I was thinking of going through all of the brushes that I have, you know, the different collections that I have. Like I've got a lot of Sonia G, I've got the Rephr collection, I have some various brushes, I have some Wayne Goss. I actually plan on getting more of those and at some point, probably around Christmas. I like to do brushes for my Christmas present to myself. But you know, would you guys be interested in like updated favorites and stuff like that with the brushes that I have? So let me know down below if that's something you guys are interested in or not. So I think that sums up everything I've been reaching for this month. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. And I would love to hear what you guys have been using and what your favorite products are that you've purchased recently. I'm going to be ending my no buy soon, and I am making my shopping list. So if you have any recommendations, please let me know. I'm definitely getting the Guerlain Rouge G, the Sheer Shine lipsticks that came out, and those new cases. They are the number 1 item on my list. Some of the items that were previously on my list of things that I had to get, you know, might be shifting. So if you guys are interested in a video on what I plan on buying after my no buy, let me know, and I'd be happy to post something for that. But yeah, I'd love to hear your recs and what you guys have been reaching for. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope this was fun for you. Please give me a thumbs up if you like the video, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I have to see you guys next time. So have a great, safe, and healthy day, and see you soon.